And we're back!
Good job.
And today we are doing another one of our Raddish Kids boxes. Your whole cookbook, don't you? Yeah.
And you've got your radish.
Well, you're so accident prone. You got your Raddish Kids apron on. I still gotta get your gingerbread patch ironed on. I'll do that. Here, well, our food is baking. But this month, it's Swedish Eats. So we are gonna have a whole Swedish food festival, y'all. Yeah, you got tongs. So cool. So this month we've got tongs as the tool of the month. We're gonna learn how to knead dough, how to use tongs, and some cook-along tips. And the 3 recipes that we have, and we're gonna make all 3 of them this time, is our Nordic cinnamon buns, Swedish meatballs, and a Scandinavian smorgasbord. So we are so excited. So we're gonna start with our Nordic cinnamon buns. Then this guy's gonna take a nap. We're gonna finish up the rest of them. Let's get cooking.
I gotta know, when can we do this again?
Okay, so here's our little recipe guide, and we have out all of our ingredients, including a helper. Who's that, Wally? Is that the Swedish chef? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna help us?
Yeah.
Yeah? Ute in the duschen. First put the duschen in the duschen? Yeah? Alright, let's get to cooking. Okay, Wally, get the dough on there. Okay, now we're gonna knead it, okay? And look, I'm gonna show you this, look. It's gonna teach us how to knead the dough, okay? You're gonna use the heel of your hand, okay? You're gonna push it down and away from you. And then pick it up, turn it over, and do it again, okay? All right? So pick it up, and then do it again. Alright, well, in theory, you should have this nice dough and then you fold it over and cut it into strips, but because we're using gluten-free dough and gluten-free flour, there was no folding option available. So I just kind of like folded it over, and then we're gonna cut it up, and we're still gonna maybe try and twist them into knots. But yeah, gluten-free baking is really hard.
It's really hard. Leave comments down below
you don't
if
have the
you
gluten. All right,
have a better way to do this.
Yeah.
If you have a gluten recipe that you think could cut into strips and
gluten-free
fold over.
recipe.
A gluten-free recipe.
Okay. All right, cut right here. Do the first cut here and go straight down.
No, man.
Straight down. Okay. And then do another one right here.
So maybe if these are not Nordic cinnamon buns, they're Nordic cinnamon crumbles.
Or Nordic haystacks?
Nordic haystacks works as
I don't
well.
know.
We'll see
We'll
what they
see.
come out.
They don't exactly look as lovely as it would if it was a
No.
full glutinous dough and I could fold and roll them, but gluten-free baking is a little frustrating sometimes. We'll see if they taste any good.
That's always the key if it tastes good.
All right, well, my gluten-free Nordic buns are continuing to rise. I'm not really sure that they're gonna rise a whole lot being gluten-free, but we'll see what happens. We'll get those guys in the oven here soon. In the meantime, Wally is napping, and I am working on our Nordic relish tray. So I've got my cranberry sauce going, which is pretty much the exact same recipe I use for Christmas time, so that's good. I've got my potatoes boiling so that we can do our dill potatoes. And I'm gonna get my cucumbers sliced up so we can get those all pickled and put in the fridge, because I think everything will taste better if it is cooled down. So we're gonna get the relish tray done, and then Wally will be waking up from his nap. Nordic buns should be coming out of the oven, and we'll start on the meatballs. Got my cucumber all sliced up here. I took about half of it out because I'm gonna save that to use in the dill dip, because I thought it might be good just to have some raw cucumbers too. And then we've got our sugar, our apple cider vinegar, and our sea salt. We're just gonna put that in there, and then those guys are gonna sit in the fridge and pickle up, and they'll be yummy. All right, so I'm working on the dill potatoes, and it needs sour cream, but Mark has a dairy allergy and I do my best to avoid dairy. So we are actually gonna use this coconut milk yogurt, and it's just a plain yogurt, so it's got that kind of like bitterness of a sour cream. And then, I don't know, I might add like a little bit of some grated like goat cheese or something. I don't know, we'll see. I also have some like gluten-free, dairy-free cream cheese. So maybe I could mix a little bit of that in. But yogurt is usually a pretty good substitute for sour cream. All right, so I mixed in a little bit of our favorite dairy-free cream cheese, which is Kite Hill, and it's made with almond milk. And Mark's gonna give it a try with some of the cucumbers. Let's see what he thinks.
That is good.
It's actually really good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we are gonna start on our Swedish meatballs now. Wally's just working on getting up from his nap, so hopefully my little chef will come and help me here in a little bit. But they are a blend of ground beef and pork, and then you actually bake them in the oven, which is different. We're used to making Italian meatballs that baste all day, and they're real moist because they are cooked in a marinara sauce, so these will be a little bit different. We'll see how they turn out.
And look who's up and has all of their patches.
Yay! 3 whole patches you've earned, buddy.
Whoa.
Are you proud?
The patch dance. So over here, I am making some Swedish glögg, spelled G-L-N-O with the dots, G-G, glögg. In there we have got the base of red wine. You want a good red wine. It recommends a red wine blend in the recipe. Also, there's some brandy. And then, you may have seen or heard us talk about this in another vlog, but snow vodka made out of cane sugar here in Boulder, Colorado. Glögg also has some orange in it. We got some clove, some vanilla extract, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, and brown sugar to give it a little sweet, because all that stuff is going to be pretty potent. Let you know how it is later when it's done. Simmers for 1 hour. And how are those Swedish meatballs coming?
Good. So I got a half a pound of ground pork, lean ground pork, and lean ground beef. And we're just gonna mix that in there. And then we've got some breadcrumbs and onion powder and allspice, which is kind of different. So we'll see how that all comes together. All right, meatballs are cooking in the oven. I actually had to ball them because they're supposed to be mini meatballs, and I was originally making them a lot larger, but that's okay because I made a lot of meatballs. So those are cooking away. They look really good. And over here, I I'm starting on the gravy. Get my butter melted down. Gonna put some flour in there. Get a little roux going. And then we'll turn it into some gravy. All right, well, there's our Swedish meatballs. That was half Swedish, half Italian, but that's okay. I'm more Italian than I am Swedish, if any Swedish. But those look really yummy. The gravy turned out really good, and the meatballs look delicious. The wine has been mulled. It's looking good. The glog is ready. And our Nordic cinnamon buns, well, they look like they're gluten-free, but we'll see how they taste. And the Swedish relish tray looks pretty good too. Got our pickled cucumbers, our cooked potatoes with our dill sauce, and our cranberries, which is kind of meant to mimic the lingonberry sauce, which I almost bought lingonberry to put on the meatballs, but I didn't want to buy an $8 jar of lingonberry jam that we probably would never eat again. So we're just gonna do a little bit of the cranberry relish, which I read online, cranberry is the closest thing to a lingonberry. So it's time to dig in. Okay, well, we're ready to dig in, but Mark made us a Swedish cocktail. We've got our Swedish fish with some blue curacao and some sparkling lemonade and some snow vodka. So it's time for our cocktails and our relish tray. And Wally even has his own mocktail version with a Swedish fish, of course, and some Kool-Aid and lemonade.
Chef Wally is dishing up the meatballs.
The meatballs. Okay, get one with your tongs and put it in Mommy's bowl.
Oh boy. Oh,
Good job.
got one.
Good job.
Score!
Mark's going in for round 2 on the meatballs, which means they're good, huh?
Lingonberry jam.
You got some of your lingonberry, aka cranberry. And
meatball, yeah.
Nummy.
good combined. Yeah. And this was kind of fun to do because it actually has lemon at its base, which normally when I make cranberry sauce it's got orange, so it does have a little bit more of a zing to it. Mr. Nummy in the background here. What are you eating for dinner? What Scandinavian treat are you having? A quesadilla? You doing the nummy dance? And you have on your name tag. Because Mommy accidentally threw away your name tag from the birthday party and it was a giant meltdown. So we had to make you a new name tag. Alright, so we are doing the table talkers at dinner tonight, which is a good fun way to have some conversation at dinner. And we learned all about Scandinavian history, Nordic culture, and Sweden.
What are you doing here?
Was that the Swedish chef?
We don't
Put the flamethrower.
Did I die?
Biggie's coming up to join us.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I don't think there's enough room. Oh. Oh, she just fits.
Good girl, Biggie.
Yeah.
Well, we had a great Swedish night.
We really did. It was a lot of fun to do all 3 recipes from his Raddish Kids. So this is his little cookbook that he has, and it's really nice because we can put all of his recipes in here. And so it's really fun that we did all 3 from the kit this time. We've only kind of just done like 1 here and there every month. But this time we did the entire meal, and it was so fun to do a whole themed meal. And it was all
good.
good.
So
Yeah,
good.
it was all good. The Nordic buns or whatever they were called,
Cinnamon buns.
they didn't really turn out like a cinnamon bun. They turned out more like kind of like a cookie in a way. They weren't bad. They were actually pretty good with coffee. But it's just really hard when you have to modify things like that with being gluten-free. And they do a good job online of telling you like suggestions on how to sub things out. But it's just hard to make breads that are gluten-free.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything turned out really good. I think we all really enjoyed the meal. Wally, what was your favorite part? Eating the Swedish fish. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I love the meatballs.
Yeah, I like the meatballs a lot. I really like the dill dip too for the smorgasbord. And it was really fun. We read all of the little things in it while we were eating and learned about like Nordic culture, and we did the little trivia and learned more about like what is a smorgasbord and why is it called that and stuff. So it was really fun. I would really recommend doing, like, we did a 6-month subscription and it's been really fun. It's just been fun to try different recipes. And if you do it, I would really recommend trying to like do a day with all of the recipes. It's really, really fun. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys thought this was fun to kind of see what the Raddish Kids experience is like. Wally, I think you're ready for Easter now. You got your Easter bunny out.
Give the video a big thumbs up. Let us know in the comments if you do the Raddish boxes.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed seeing us do the Raddish boxes.
Bunny. You want to see bunny?
Where's your Swedish chef?
Where's
Go get the
Swedish
Swedish
chef?
chef. Go get the Swedish chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know if you've tried it, and let us know if you guys like when we do the cooking vlogs. It's really fun. I like to cook. I like when I have time to actually be in the kitchen and do it, but we don't always have time that we can like cook a whole meal.
Yeah.
So
Thank you all for subscribing. You know that helps us out and we greatly appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind, give the video a big thumbs up. This is the wonderful world of Walter.
and we love you just the way you are.
Bye.
Say bye.